Howdy, Stickies!
Welcome back to another episode of the Stick with Kaji Podcast. I'm Loanne.
I'm Sean.
And you can follow me on Instagram here at LoanneKaji, where I post things, that we're doing when we are not filming the awesome podcast that we do.
Oh, wow, that was awkward.
And now we're in Houston. Maybe there's some new pictures that we're posting. Have you posted anything since we came back to Houston?
Sean just had a great Father's Day, right, with
yeah,
the
yeah.
sloth. So check that out, okay?
It was really hot. I didn't know Houston's that hot.
It was so hot. We even got a little fan. The kids all had a fan that blows out water. But still, it was... And we went to the farm super early in the morning at 9 a.m. And it was still way too hot for us.
Yeah, come to think of it, I don't think we spent summer in Houston for quite a while.
Right, yeah.
Because this past 3 years, we always filming Ryan's Mystery Playdate, or we're doing something else outside of Houston during the summertime. So it's been a long time since we came back here during the summertime.
Yeah,
I forgot how hot it is.
Yes. I was like, how did I survive here before? Maybe I just spent my summers indoors, so that's why. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's stick to today's topic, which is unique things that I, myself, experienced or noticed when I was in Japan. So in a few episodes ago, I did an episode where I talked about unique things that I experienced or see when I was in Vietnam. So I thought I'd take that to Japan. And so I will tell you guys my personal experience, and Sean will, elaborate on it or tell me more about it. Okay?
Yeah, because to me, I grew up in Japan, so
Right.
really nothing unique about Japan that I found when we went back to Japan. So we'll see. Loanne's perspective is really interesting because she went there as a foreigner. So
right, yeah. So I made a little list here. So let's talk about number one. You guys ever been to Japan before? And maybe it's also a unique thing in your country, if you guys can relate, just let us know. So the number one thing that stood out to me when I was there was that there are vending machines everywhere. Every block has a vending machine, right? And the vending machine is so unique because not only you can get cold items, you can get hot items. You can get, really unique things like watches and, whatever you can think of. There was vending machines for it.
There's a vending machine also cook food for you too. So there's a vending machine that serves fresh ramen noodle.
Wow.
Like a soup.
Yeah.
And there's also like vending machine selling like a fresh soy sauce too.
What?
There's a city that's very famous for producing a soy sauce,
Yeah.
and then I guess they have whole bunch of different vending machines serving the soy sauce.
That's crazy. I just remember when we were there, I was so amazed that you can get hot coffee from the vending machine.
Feel it.
Hot? Oh, wow, it's warm, guys.
Oh,
It's hot, right?
yeah.
That's so cool that in Japan's vending machine, they can dispense hot and cold. That's so cool. Oh.
Here in the States, pretty much all the vending machines are only serving cold drinks.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I was shocked when I first came to US, because the vending machine technology in the US is a little bit outdated. I say a little bit, is largely outdated compared to Japan. And I can see why. Having vending machine out in public, like on the street, it's a little bit dangerous in US, right? Because there are a lot of times it's at the risk of people forcibly opening it and then take the money inside or take the item inside the vending machine. So it's a little bit dangerous to place the vending machine outside in the US. But in Japan, and the theft is not really the case of the theft is not that much, so I think it's okay to have the vending machine around places.
I see. And you guys have a custom of, walking a lot from places to place, right? So it makes sense to just have it out on the street every block, right? Just in case somebody is walking and forgot water or they wanted, Coke or something. It's there, easy to access, right?
Yeah, and it's really convenient for places like Tokyo where there are a lot of people in a small area. Then, a lot of people get thirsty. they would waste their time just lining up in front of the cash register at the supermarket. So I think it's really helpful to having the vending machine, especially in Tokyo area.
That was really cool. And I remember there's one time I was so amazed, that they serve hot drinks. And Sean was like, oh, it's normal here. And I said, well, it's not normal to me. Okay.
And you were also shocked that they didn't have Diet Coke in Japan.
Yes, that's right. They didn't.
So and I didn't remember if we had Diet Coke when I was in Japan, like when I used to live in Japan. So I thought maybe they might have the Diet Coke. I just didn't remember much. So Loan wanted Diet Coke, and I just look around different stores, different convenience stores, a vending machine, trying to look for Diet Coke. There were none.
You guys have a diet culture there, but for some reason there wasn't diet drinks.
For some reason, we have Coke Zero.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we have Coke Zero, but not Diet Coke for some reason.
I see. Maybe it doesn't resonate with, Japanese people. Maybe it's not popular there.
Yeah, we're like, we don't need diet. I guess. I do, but other Japanese people.
Okay, so let's move on to number 2 that I thought was really unique when I went to Japan was that almost all the restaurants have some sort of fake food or food sample in the front so you can see what it looks like before you order it. So I thought that was really unique because, a lot of time here when you open a menu up, right, they have description, but I'm just not good. I just can't visualize what it looks like. And so when I went to Japan, I thought, oh, wow, this is great. I can see exactly what the food would look like, and they are actual size of the actual dish.
It's funny. It's more like family-oriented restaurants have the menu with the pictures or have the food sample in front of the store, so people can see what the food would look like. More expensive restaurants in Japan, they wouldn't have those.
Really? I didn't know.
It's only the text.
Oh.
So yes, it's convenient, right, for people before ordering. Like they can see like what the food would look like. But then when you go to expensive place, they're like, this kind of makes it look cheap, so they don't want the pictures.
I see.
Kind of like a U.S. style.
Oh.
But I actually like seeing the picture of a food because sometimes just a description, on the text, it doesn't really explain like what it would look like. So the food sample is really interesting culture in Japan. When you go to Tokyo, especially in Asakusa area, there are a lot of the food sample manufacturer based in Asakusa region in Tokyo, and we went to one of the places and we actually experienced creating food sample on our own. I think we created like a lettuce, right?
Yeah.
Fake lettuce.
Right, a whole bunch of vegetables. Yeah, and it was interesting because in the beginning when they showed it what it looked like, I just can't imagine. But once the final product came after we finished, it's kind of like wax and we have to dip it in hot water and stuff. When it came out, I was thinking, wow, it looks exactly like a real food.
Right. I mean, any food they can create it with the wax. It's interesting how they develop that culture. But yeah, I always like seeing those kind of food sample in front of the store. It sucks that we don't have that in the US. We should have that.
We need it because a lot of time I would have to just look up pictures, go to that specific restaurant and look up Google pictures and see other people pictures.
I feel like more so in US we should have it because we have a wide variety of different food, right? Like Indian food, Korean food, Chinese food, African food.
Right.
And some people didn't grow up with that culture, so they don't know what it would look like. So food sample really would help.
Agreed. All right, let's talk about the number 3 thing that I thought was unique is obviously the Japanese toilet, okay? I just grew up with just the traditional Western toilet. So after you do your little business, you flush the toilet and all that stuff, But I experienced a Japanese toilet for the first time when I went there. It's like life-changing. Okay, there's so many buttons. At first I was confused, right? Because all the buttons are in Japanese, so I couldn't read it. And they're little symbols, right? And then when you sit down, it's a lot of them are warm. And the first time I was like, oh, this is feeling weird. Because I think people have to get used to the warm feeling. Because if it's warm...
It's like somebody, right before you sat down. And
right.
It's just the temperature from the person before you. So
yeah.
That probably caught you surprised.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised when we went back. When we went back to Japan together, I haven't been back to Japan for 12 years at that time. So there are a lot of things that I noticed that was really new about toilet too in Japan.
Really?
Yeah. So one of the function that I found that it was kind of new that I didn't see before was the sounds.
Ah.
So when you do number 2, codename number 2.
Yeah.
Sometimes the sound would come out, right?
Yeah.
That's just nature of
Yeah,
just the
yeah,
biology. Anyway, and you feel embarrassed doing that in the public. So one of the function in a Japanese toilet is the making like a sound of water like running. So it diffuses the sound coming from your body. So you don't have to feel embarrassed when you do number 2.
Right. And there's also buttons, right? Where the water just splash out at you. And at first I was like, oh, this is...
And it's so precise because, each person have a different, body structure too, right? So you can adjust the angle of it. There is a male and a female mode too because the area you need to wash, it's different between male and female. This toilet can do that too.
Right. So. And it also plays music too, right? Like if you press it, it'll play classical music or...
It's help you just go down the system. Yeah.
I know. I wish we have a Japanese toilet in our house.
And even toilet paper too. Some people were so creative. Oh, I don't want people to get bored in the restroom. So they have a print on the toilet paper. So while people doing the business, they can look at the toilet paper and do some readings while they're doing their business.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Be educated while, you're doing your business. I like that.
The only funny thing is that after that, you wipe your butt after that. So it's just it's a funny ending. But
right. Number 4 thing that I thought is unique about Japan is that, Tokyo is one of the largest and dense cities in the world, right? So when I went there for the first time, I've been to New York before, so I thought because it's a large, dense population that, it's not clean or it's loud because there's so many people around. But when I went to Tokyo for the first time, I was really surprised on how clean it is, number 1, and number 2, how quiet it is considering the amount of people are in the city.
Yeah, especially inside the subway or train.
Yes.
You notice nobody was talking, right? Yeah, you're not allowed to pick up the cell phone when you're inside the train. And that's the kind of the rule. And surprisingly, everybody pretty much following it.
Yes, and it was crazy because, we went to the subway. If somebody dropped a pen, you can hear it. It's how silent that is. And, coming from the Western world, and, guys, you guys know me. I am such a loud person. My volume of whisper is probably very, very loud, even though I consider that a whisper. So I was very self-conscious. I feel like I can't breathe in that city because I feel as if I couldn't be myself because my volume of whispering, it's still too loud for most people.
You don't have to whisper. You can just talk a normal tone. Your normal volume is a little bit too much. So
True.
You have to tone it down a little bit. Yeah. You don't have to whisper in train. You can just talk normal.
I know, but this is my talking normal. It's just loud. And Sean, too, keep having to say, guys, can you lower your voice? You are too loud. I was like, I'm sorry, so.
Yeah, but it's a little bit difficult for the, those people who have little kids, right?
Sure.
Bringing little kids in train with a whole bunch of people, sometimes it's hard. And then when you bring a stroller into the train too, a lot of people give you a stare.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't know how people can raise kids in Japan. I think people just try to avoid riding a train.
I see.
If they have little kids.
I remember.
But it sucks because, sometimes you have to take a train.
Yeah. No, I remember, right? Because a lot of people in Japan, you guys don't really use car, right? I remember this one moment where I saw a mom, on a bicycle, right, with the kid on her back, and there's another kid in her front, and she was riding a bicycle. I was like, wow, super mom. I couldn't even do that by myself. Much less, with 2 kids.
I've seen 3 kids on a bicycle with mom before.
Wow, you guys are a pro. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I feel like moms in Japan, they're tough. And a lot of kids still, in Tokyo, they go to school. When they get to the elementary school, they start going to school on their own. Just walk to school or take a train to school. Whew, impressed.
Yeah, you're right. Because I remember one time we were there and we saw a whole bunch of elementary school kids together, right? They had the cute little uniform on, and they were just going and waiting for the subway or train. And I was thinking, oh, there's no way I would be comfortable to let Ryan do this. So that was very impressive.
In Japan, especially in Tokyo, there is a very competitive private schools, right? And even like middle school, there's a very competitive entrance exam. So when I'm on a train, like sometimes I notice like a elementary school kid, like around Ryan's age right now. They're like on the textbook trying to study for their entrance exam, and I was just shocked. And some of them look so tired they're falling asleep.
Aww.
It's very competitive in Tokyo.
Yeah, different culture for sure. So number 5, speaking of how quiet it is, again, I want to touch on how clean Tokyo was when I went there. I was really amazed, how you guys able to keep it so clean. And I remember one time I had trashed, right? Because when you eat street food or whatever, or drink water bottle, you have trash that you want to throw away. And I couldn't even find a trash can in sight. So I was amazed. How are you guys keeping the city clean when there's no sort of public trash can?
Yeah, I think the packaging too, a lot of manufacturers and a lot of companies trying to be creative in a way that it doesn't create too much trash, especially in Tokyo area. And the reason why we don't have as much trash can nowadays is because there was, I guess, terrorism happened before in Tokyo where somebody placed the bomb inside the trash can. So we thought that would be a possible risk in the future. So we started eliminating the trash can as much as possible. But then people were carrying the trash and then just bringing it home.
Oh, wow. That's
impressive. Or just, keep it until they find the trash can. So it's good. I think just the effort from everybody in Tokyo kind of keeping it clean.
So the mentality is different, right? You have so many people and you guys have to share such a small condensed space that everybody collaboratively work together to keep it run and smoothly, keeping it clean. So props.
Yeah. What did you think of the food there?
Oh my gosh, the food is so good there. And I am actually impressed by just the bento boxes. It's obviously way better than I experienced in Texas. And there were bento boxes everywhere, Even when we went on the train, there was somebody there in the middle of the train just going back and forth, to see if you can buy those bento boxes. And they look like they're freshly made.
Just so you guys know, the best place to buy bento box is at the train station or inside the bullet train.
Right.
Each train station a lot of times have their signature special bento box that's only sold at that station or that region. So you should get those bento box if you can. That's always kind of one of the incentive for people on the business trip or go on a trip is so they can eat those. It's called ekiben. Station bento, ekiben.
Ekiben, what is that? The name of
station bento at station.
I see.
So it's a special bento box.
Oh.
Specialized at the train station.
Okay, the next thing that I find unique when I went to Japan was maybe that it depends on where I was at. I don't know, but I was actually kind of shocked that a lot of Japanese people don't really speak English, considering it's a very touristy destination. So I just assume, and I shouldn't assume, but I was expecting at least just basic English, Even I'm talking about the people working, not regular people.
Right. I mean, we started studying English as a main subject starting from 5th grade, I think now, right? So then I think it's probably similar to other countries too. I think other countries in Asia too is all starting around the same timing. So I don't know why we're so behind on English, but yeah, I agree. Even for myself too, I had a harder time speaking English than the other kids who came around the same timing as me when I was little. So
maybe you guys feel as if you don't really need English, right?
I think the main reason is the grammar and the pronunciation is so different between Japanese and English. The grammar itself too, everything is opposite. The placement of the subject, verb, and object, all those the placement is opposite too.
Yeah.
So the way that we think the sentence is opposite.
Right. Yeah, I see that. But so is some other countries too.
Right, but then I think that really always just kind of put us feel awkward when we speak English. I think every time we try to start out the sentence, it just completely misplaced. So that's one thing. And the pronunciation too. We have very simplified pronunciation in Japanese. That's why a lot of people have easier time pronouncing Japanese word.
Except for me.
I mean, I think you pronounce it fine.
No.
Shujutsu.
What?
I'm pretty excited about this one because I can guarantee you it'll be difficult for Lauren. Shujutsu. Ju?
Shuju?
Tsu.
Shujutsu.
Shujutsu.
I'm so sorry, I butchered. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're doing great. But then in the English and even Vietnamese too, there's so many different intonation and there's so many sound that we don't have in Japanese. So there are a lot of movement in tongues. So I think most of the Japanese words are like kind of with the words are created by the sound created by the lips. So
I see.
And in Tokyo, there are some areas that there are a lot of foreigners. And that area, I feel like those areas, I feel like a lot of Japanese people could speak somewhat like decent level of English. Yeah. But yeah, majority of the people, it's very difficult to communicate in English.
But again, it's all on me because if I go to Japan, I'm the one who is expected to learn the basic Japanese. Or I should not be expecting them to know basic English to help me out.
What I want to do, well, you started learning Japanese now, so I want to do like when we go to Japan next time is the show on the Netflix called Old Enough. The little kid, 3 years old, going on the shopping for their parents, and they're only 3 years old, so it's a little bit difficult for them to shop for what they're supposed to do for the parents. Anyway, I think we should do the similar concept for you.
Oh my!
Go to Japan and give you a list of things that you need to buy from the supermarket, and then you come back.
Oh my gosh! All I know is sumimasen. That's all I got.
That means excuse me.
That's all I got.
So you at least you can get the attention.
Yeah, I can get attention, and I can just draw the picture. Be like, potato.
Yeah, there you go. That sounds. Yeah, they'll understand it. And the good thing is, a lot of Japanese words, like a lot of words in Japanese, they're all kind of based on English.
Right. Yeah.
So like potato, we say potato too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I can get that. Put that on my shopping list. Okay, so the last thing I thought that was really unique about Japan was actually their customer service. They're amazing. And, the fact that there's no tipping system too, but they're still incentivized to just give us great service. So I remember one time we were at a restaurant, right? And I think I have put my purse kind of on the floor, right? But it was kind of in the way, And so instead of she coming up to me saying, excuse me, can you just move your purse a little bit? Because that's kind of like blocking people's space, But the waitress came up to me, of course she's Japanese, and she was like, excuse me, I'm so sorry. The way that she talked to me makes it feel like it was her fault that my purse was in other people's way. You know what I mean? And I was like taken back by it. And I was like, I'm so sorry. But she's like, no, she's sorry. And I'm like, no, it's my fault. But she kept trying to apologize that the purse that I put down was in people's way.
I think it's good and bad. Yeah, I think it's just one of the culture that in Japan, the customer is always right. And then that's why a lot of times just store or restaurant always apologize to the customer, even though it's customer's fault. Yeah. As a customer, it's great because we feel great. Yeah, right. But yeah, I think a lot of people who's working on those customer service industry, they're all stressed out.
Oh, I can see.
Apologizing every time. The customer is so used to that culture. Yeah. So they're becoming a little bit obedient.
I see.
Yeah. It's just do this and do that. I'm customer. You listen to me, kind of thing. So it's good and bad. But yeah, for the people who travel to Japan for the first time, you'll be amazed, right? Like how nice they are to the customers.
Almost sometimes I feel uncomfortable that they're too nice,
Mm-hmm. The one thing that really represents the high level of Japanese customer service is when you go to McDonald's, you see it on the menu.
Oh.
So on the menu in Japan at the McDonald's, there is it said smile on the menu.
Oh, really?
It said 0 yen. So it's smile is free. It should be there already. It's kind of thing. So that's how much the customer service is at the level, like a high level in Japan. Sometimes I just, can I have a smile? And then they just smile for you.
Oh, really?
But I'm sure it's gonna be it'll be annoying for them, so you should stop doing that.
Right.
It's literally on the menu when you go to McDonald's. You should check it out. When you go to McDonald's in Japan, it's on the menu it says smile.
That's funny. I wonder how many people actually order the smile. You know. So yeah, those are the things that I thought it was really unique when I traveled to Japan. I'm hoping we can go again soon because it's been several years since we went. And maybe there will be more things that are different that I didn't notice before, or things that, have changed since. So fingers crossed, Japan, open your borders so I can come.
Yeah, this time, hopefully two of us can go. Every time we go to Japan, because we go with Ryan, a lot of places we go is kid friendly. So only one side of Japan Lauren have experienced. She didn't see all these tourist places cater toward the grown-ups. So maybe next time two of us can go and then enjoy Japan in a different way.
Right.
Maybe I will take you to the countryside.
Ooh, I like that. And I also want to see the monkeys, that are in the hot bath.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, there's a really famous spot, like a hot spring spot, where monkeys are trained to take a bath at the hot spring.
So cute. Yeah, so on my wish list for sure. Okay, so before we end the episode, we're going to do the sticky word of the day, which Sean will take from here because I personally don't know it in Vietnamese, and it is a Japanese episode, so take it away.
Customer. Customer in Japanese is お客様.
Oh, okay, you just said it was simple in Japanese just 2 seconds ago.
I didn't say it's simple.
Or pronunciation is simple.
Yeah, お客様. I think cab is a little bit hard. Huh?
Yeah. Okay, try it again. Can you do it? Go slower.
お
か
く
sama.
お客様.
おかく様.
お客様.
おかく様.
おか like cannon. お客様.
You know
It's
what?
like a tongue twister for you.
It is. That's what I'm saying. Sean is saying that Japanese words are easy to pronounce, but I guess I'm the exception to the rule because I cannot pronounce half of what he's, trying to help me say. So
yeah, let me know if you guys think, if you agree with me that Japanese words are simple to pronounce or not. For some reason, Ryan's always great at pronouncing it. Onegaishimasu.
Onegaishimasu.
Good job, Ryan. All right, now your turn. Can you guys say it?
Onegaishimasu.
Onegaishimasu. He always catch it right away. Once he hear it, he can pronounce it right away.
Yeah, Ryan's great. Maybe it's just me. That's what I'm saying. It's me.
Well, it's probably because you're a mixture with English and also Vietnamese too.
Maybe.
So maybe it's a little bit different from those.
I mean, even some English words I have trouble pronouncing. So
same for me.
Yeah.
It's hard.
All right, guys. So that ends and conclude our fun Stick with Kaji episode. Would like your thoughts and feelings about this episode down below. And remember, you can listen to our podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Hopefully, I'll see you next week on the Stick with Kaji podcast. Bye.
Bye.
Have a fantastic day.